afternoon, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this event, and I thank Mr. Vijay Keval for arranging. I am Sunil Sali, the Rotary President of the host club Thane Titans. I take this opportunity to call this meeting to order and handing over the session to Vijay Keval.
Thank you, Sunil. Thanks for the welcome. Let us start with the welcome of our guests. At first, I would like to welcome our guest, Patrick, who, in spite of his busy schedule, has given us time and ensured that he attends. And he was one of the first persons to join the meeting. Thanks, Patrick, for giving the time. I would also like to thank all the co-host clubs. We have around 13 co-host clubs coming with us from various districts. Thanks everybody and thank you all. Let us start with the four-way test. Mukherjee, who will be giving? Is it ready? So you can start with the four-way test. Mukherjee, you can read the four-way test. I'll do it. The four-way test of the things we think, say or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. And Kirti, your president is not there. So will you be going through the objects of Rotary?
Sorry, could you repeat your question, please?
I believe your president was to take up the objects of Rotary. Since he is not there, so will you take up the objects of Rotary, please?
Who are you referring to? Sorry.
Kirti, yeah.
No. I'm Anu from Rotary Koramangala, president of Rotary Koramangala.
I was speaking to Kirti from organ donation. Kirti, I'm
Yes,
just putting, so you please take up the objects of Rotary since your president is not here.
Objects of Rotary, yes.
They are put up on the screen. You can just take it.
Yes, I'm aware of it. Yes. Object of Rotary. The object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular to encourage and foster the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service, high ethical standards in business and profession, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations, and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society. The application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian personal, business, and communicative life. The advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service.
Thanks, Kirti. Now, let us move to our main agenda. I would like to introduce Patrick. He is today's guest speaker. So let us go to the main agenda. Patrick is the Rotary International Director for 2024-26. Patrick grew up in Greenhorn, NC, USA. He earned a BS and MS in Mechanical Engineering in North Carolina State University, focusing his thesis on innovative computer chip production methods. Following his graduation in 1989, Patrick returned to Greensboro and joined his family's mechanical contracting business. In 1996, Patrick formed Eakes Company, a manufacturer of high-end custom metal goods. The company operates in Greensboro and produces a variety of products including architectural stainless steel and brass, stainless steel trench drains for chemical and food applications, and many items for specialty contractors. Patrick joined Crescent Rotary in 1998 and served as a club president in 2001-2. He has also led the club's drive to become the first Triple Crown club. That's 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club, 100% sustaining, 100% benefactor simultaneously in the Rotary world. Patrick has served District 7690 as District Conference Chair, Assistant Governor for 8 clubs, and he was District Rotary Foundation Chair or Co-Chair for 5 years. During that time, the district became the first district in the Rotary world where every club, 50 clubs, became a Paul Harris Fellow Club. In each of those 5 years, District 7690 also led the world in number of 100% sustaining clubs. Patrick has also served as District 7690's membership chair and endowment fund chair. Patrick has served Rotary Zone 33 as Rotary Coordinator, Innovative Club Advocate, Assistant Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator, and Paul Harris Society Coordinator. Patrick served as Vice Chair of Carolina Pets, Training Chair for Zone 33-34, Chair of Membership Action Plan. Patrick was a training leader at the 21, 22, and 23 International Assemblies. And he was lead facilitator for Rotary International's Leader Global Institute in 2023. Patrick currently serves on Rotary Board of Directors as a director for 25-26. Patrick has served in leadership roles in many not-for-profit and community organizations, including the Greensboro Sports Council and Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Patrick also has served 2 years as president of Sedgefield Country Club. Through his role on the board of Sedgefield, Patrick has helped negotiate the move of PGA Tour Wyndham Championship to Sedgefield. And later he served on the Wyndham Champions Board of Directors. Patrick served a 3-year term as president of the US-Canada Golfing Fellowship of Rotarians, and he won 1 international and 4 US-Canada Rotary Golf Championships. Patrick is married to Kirsten, owner of Kirsten Eakes CPA, and they have a 21-year-old daughter, Sarah, and 18-year-old son, John, both of whom are college students and active in Rotary projects. Patrick enjoys spending time with family, playing golf, and wine collecting. Great. Patrick and Kirsten are members of the Arklum Society and the Paul Harris Society. Patrick is a recipient of the Distinguished Service Award and Service Above Self Award. With this, I would like to present to you our speaker, Patrick, all yours. The next 25 to 30 minutes are yours. Please.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you so much. You said I have 2 hours to speak. Is that right?
25
No,
to
I'm
30
not.
minutes.
I'm
So you
kidding.
can take few hours. We are all okay, Patrick. No issues.
No. No, I like my voice and I don't even want to hear it that long. So thank you so much for that kind introduction. And thank you for the opportunity to be with each of you. I know it's morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are, but I hope that you are all healthy and happy. And I look forward to the next little bit, spending some time with you. Vijay asked me to speak about the Rotary Action Plan. And so I'm going to speak a little bit about that. So you don't have to hear my voice the entire time. I am going to break it up with a few short videos that I think illustrate the action plan very well. So first, let me just be sure that you can see my screen. So are you able to see that slide that says Rotary Action Plan?
Yes, we are.
Okay, very well. Well, we'll get started, and as I said, I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to spend some time with you all today. So thank you for the invitation. Our Rotary Action Plan has actually been around for a few years now. It's kind of an exciting time because we have had the plan in place for 5 years, although the pandemic probably delayed some of the awareness of the plan. So we're actually at a point now where we're closing out the first 5-year cycle of the Rotary Action Plan, and we're assessing the plan and also thinking about what we've accomplished and what we want to do going forward with that plan. So there are 4 key pillars to the Rotary Action Plan. And they're generally known, these are shortened versions you see, because I think that they really capture what the 4 pillars are, but they're known as increase our impact, which is really about our enduring global impact as an organization. And I think in acknowledgement that potential members, they want to see clear and tangible proof of the impact that we have in our communities and across the world. Of course, the elimination of polio, the near elimination of polio now is among the best examples of that. So that's impact that you see on your screen. And then expand. Expand refers to expanding our reach. And that's really about sharing our values with new audiences, with people who we're not currently in touch with or not reaching. And this is really in an effort to attract more participants in what we do and to attract more partners. And many of these 4 pillars often overlap. So by expanding our reach to new partners, of course, we can also increase our impact. Increasing participant engagement. So you see engage. And we've intentionally used the word participant for engagement because, yes, we want more engagement with our members, but we also want more engagement with our partners, with those who volunteer, those who participate in our programs. And we want to be sure that every encounter that they have with Rotary, with Rotarians, with Rotaractors, even with our staff, that it's a fulfilling interaction. And then the last item, increasing our ability to adapt. So you see the word adapt. Just refers to the fact that we have to continue to find new ways to lead the world. The world is changing around us, and so we have to be adaptable to be sure that we evolve with the needs of members and participants. So I would argue that while this action plan was rolled out in 2019, that the pandemic forced us all to increase our ability to adapt. No doubt about that. We all had to, on very short notice, change the way we operate. So you see this slide. In 2017, our organization, really the senior leadership of our organization, they very actively sought out information to be sure that we could move with a changing world and that we could remain relevant as an organization and remain strong going into the future. So the Strategic Planning Committee, which very interestingly was led at that time by a person named Stephanie Yurchik, who of course now is our international president, but she really led this effort in 2017 to develop a new strategic plan. That group, as well as the board of directors for Rotary International and the board of trustees for the Rotary Foundation, they all recognize that the status quo very likely would not allow Rotary to remain strong and relevant in the world because there are new demands for people's time, a lot of technological changes going on, and also starting to think about a post-polio world for Rotary, just lots of changes occurring. So they wanted to be sure that we had a plan to move forward. They also understood that it was important to have a strong vision and that it was easily accessible or understandable for our members and for our participants, and that we would be ready to take on the challenges of the future. So they didn't assume that they had all the answers, the Strategic Planning Committee. They really did a lot of outreach to try to collect information from our partners and certainly from our members. So there were 3 separate surveys that were conducted that asked participants about the direction of Rotary and the future and test certain concepts with them. We sent out over 1 million surveys and we got 75,000 responses to that. For those of you who work in the survey world, you know that's actually a pretty good response rate. And with 75,000 responses, that group felt like they had sufficient information to understand what people wanted from Rotary. They also conducted focus groups and interviews to conduct research. They talked to over 400 participants in 29 countries. So they got a very good cross-section of the world to understand the needs of people in different regions of the world and how Rotary could both best be strong and effective moving forward. So there are 34 zones in the world. Our Rotary world is divided into 34 zones. I represent zones 33 and 34, but they made sure that they had input from all 34 zones, which I think is particularly important. So coming out of all of that research, both boards, meaning the Rotary International Board and the Rotary Foundation Board of Trustees, adopted the vision statement that you see on the screen. And I would guess that most of you have seen this at some point, but I truly love this vision statement. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. And it's amazing to me that so few words can capture so much of what we are as an organization and as Rotaractors and as Rotarians. I think starting with the word together reflects what Rotary is all about, because rarely can one person have the kind of impact that many people can have together. I also love the words unite, action, and change, because I think that represents what we do. And finally, referring to where the change takes place, we know we have impact in our own communities, and we know that we have an impact across the globe, but sometimes we don't talk very much about the impact we have on ourselves. I mean, we actually pay to be in Rotary. And for me, at least, the compensation, the payback from Rotary, it all occurs right here in my heart. The good I feel from serving in this organization. So I really do love this vision statement, and it was one of the first things to come out of this effort to look forward to what our organization will be and where it's going. So as I mentioned, both boards adopted both the vision statement and Rotary Action Plan. That was in June of 2018. And I'm going to talk just a little bit about each of these areas, and in particular, how a club can put these areas to work, or how they can operate utilizing these 4 areas or 4 priorities, or I often call them 4 pillars. So the purpose of Rotary's action plan, as I mentioned before, it was really about ensuring that Rotary as an organization maintains its position of relevance and importance in our world. We are a premier member organization. We're a premier humanitarian organization, but we recognize that we have to evolve and we have to move forward to maintain that status. How does the action plan connect to the club experience? Well, I believe that the action plan gives the club a lens through which it can view club operations, meaning both how it operates for the members and how it operates in its community and the world. Now, that requires taking an honest assessment of your club operations and your culture, and then considering the Rotary Action Plan. I think if you do that, you'll see areas that maybe could use improvement. Or maybe if your club is functioning really well and there's really nothing that needs improvement, it may reveal some areas where you can go from good to being excellent in certain areas. So I think, again, an honest look at your club and how you're operating, and then considering the action plan, I think is a good combination for your club moving forward. Why should clubs prioritize using a strategic plan? Well, for me, it's absolutely essential that everybody in a club has a unified direction, and a strategic plan gives you that opportunity. Now, I always believe with a strategic plan that it should be developed with broad participation within your club. Much as Rotary reached out to 1 million people to ask for input, your club should involve all of your members, or almost all of your members, at least those members who want to participate. That way, members know their voices are heard, they participate in the process, they will understand and support the club strategic plan moving forward. And again, it gives you a unified direction for moving forward as a club. You know where you're going and how you're going to get there. I think by including all your club members, you'll find that they're very invested, not only in your club, but in the success of your club. So now let's take a look at the first priority of Rotary Action Plan, which is to increase our impact.
Real impact is growth and change that's sustainable long after we have left the scene. As Rotary, how will we do it? We are encouraging clubs to focus their efforts on a few key areas rather than trying to do too many projects. Think about ways you can build on your community's key strengths, do some smart risk-taking, and look for areas where targeted, concentrated work can create a cascade of change. We are creating a culture of measurement in Rotary by measuring, tracking, and analyzing what we do. By using data and metrics, we can be smarter about what we need to continue doing, start doing, and stop doing. We all know the importance of data in our professional lives and how essential it's been to our progress in polio eradication. But it's also essential to the future of Rotary. Major funding agencies demand evidence and proof of impact. Young people, the future of Rotary, have grown up asking institutions and organizations for greater accountability and transparency. That's why Rotary is identifying consistent best practices for assessment and measurement. Rotary's action plan. What will our legacy be?
So as you see in that video, impact has many implications for particularly younger potential members, prospective members. They want to know that if they invest their time, it's going to have an impact. It's going to make a difference. So you see on the slide, it's about building practices, infrastructure, and capacity, as well as generating data so that we're able to express our impact effectively. Now, what can clubs do to achieve this? Well, I would suggest that in your club that you survey your members to understand exactly what the skills of your members are and to understand what their professional relationships are with other organizations that might allow your club to increase its output, its impact. There may be assets within your members' businesses that can be put to use to amplify your efforts and to increase your impact. So let's think about the second priority of Rotary's action plan, and that is to expand our reach.
At Rotary, we're committed to making people feel welcome and at home in our clubs, programs, and within our leadership. As an organization that is creating stronger communities worldwide with members in all corners of the globe, Rotary has a responsibility to lead the way. We are exploring and evaluating new participant models so that people can join and take action with us in more convenient ways. We are bringing in outside help, collaborating with local experts on diversity, equity, and inclusion training. It's a great way to forge new kinds of partnerships. And we are being more intentional about giving all members meaningful ways to connect, including them in club planning and decision-making, and valuing their contributions. We believe that bringing people together to share different backgrounds, perspectives, and experiences helps us unlock potential and discover new solutions. Now, let's make good on that promise. Let's share our values with new audiences, create new ways to bring people together, and prove we are an organization that's inclusive, engaging, compassionate, and ambitious. Rotary's action plan. How can we inspire more people to connect and take action with us?
also expanding our reach. As you see on the slide, it's about new audiences, bringing new groups of people together. How can your club expand its reach? Well, perhaps holding an outward-facing event that's designed to engage the public. You can educate the public about what Rotary does and what it offers. You can take specific steps to create a club experience that is attractive to parts of your community that are not represented or perhaps are underrepresented. This really feeds into Rotary's effort for diversity. But what I sometimes call the diversity dividend is about being sure that we have lots of perspectives, we have different viewpoints, different experiences, so that as a club, we can operate to our fullest potential. So the third priority of Rotary Action Plan is enhance participant engagement.
We want everyone who connects with Rotary to feel good about the experience and stay connected. We enhance participant engagement when we meet people where they are. It means being proactive, finding out what matters to them and how they want to be engaged. That's how we become a participant-centered organization. Participants encompasses all Rotary members and all others who engage in Rotary activities, like family members, partners, alumni, and others from the community. So how do we become more participant-focused? 2 words: listen and respond. Ask participants if Rotary is meeting their expectations, how they are hoping to connect and grow through Rotary, what new skills or experiences they want to gain, and how they would like to contribute to creating change in the world. What kinds of projects interest people, and what your community would like to see from Rotary. Then listen to what they say and make delivering on those expectations a priority and the club's goal. That's how we make sure people feel seen, valued, and heard. Because when we do, people will join Rotary and stay, so we can do even more real and lasting good in the world. Rotary's Action Plan. What would improve your Rotary experience?
Engagement. We think we know in our hearts what engagement is. We know when we feel connected to others in our club. We know when maybe we don't feel so connected. It's about meaningful relationships, and it's about using every encounter that we have with our family, with our friends, people we worship with, our business networks, to be sure that in those encounters that we engage in a way that shows what the people of Rotary do and who we are. It's very important for membership, which is kind of the second part of my talk today, of Rotary Action Plan and how it relates to membership. It's very important, that engagement piece. Now, our fourth priority of the Rotary Action Plan is increasing our ability to adapt. And I mentioned before that COVID kind of forced us to adapt. I think we all got more comfortable with Zoom during COVID, during the pandemic. So this will be the last video I'll share with you for increasing our ability to adapt.
To be leaders in this time of accelerating change, we need to become more agile and responsive to what's relevant to communities. It's a big opportunity for Rotary and for all of us who are proud to be people of action. We can look at how our ability to communicate effectively, share resources, work collaboratively, and make decisions might be challenged by our operations or structures. We're working on streamlining our structure to fix the disconnects between clubs, districts, zones, and headquarters. We're discovering more of what's possible when we work together, not just as a collection of clubs, but a true global network of change makers. We don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. We can collaborate, partner, and be the place that connects people and organizations to get more accomplished. What can we do? Take a fresh look at your club. Is it time to peel away some of the layers we've added over the years and simplify how you operate? Invite community leaders outside of Rotary to your club board meeting to offer a new perspective. Adapting is also looking for new ways to collaborate with new partners who share our values and commitment, but who can challenge and help us innovate and grow more. Rotary is embedded and trusted within communities. It's what attracts potential partners who want to work with us. When we embrace opportunities to streamline, reimagine, and Invigorate, we will see we can stay true to ourselves and stay ahead of change. Rotary's action plan. How can new perspectives strengthen Rotary? To be leader.
So as you see on the slide, I think it says it well. Being willing to take on new initiatives, being willing to take risks, being willing to evolve and to adapt as a club is very important. As I mentioned, we all essentially became virtual clubs during the pandemic, and many clubs have retained a Zoom option as well as an in-person option to recognize that people travel, people may be homebound for one reason or another, but they can still engage, they can still be a part of our clubs. So I encourage you to think about in your clubs, what can you do to adapt in a way that creates innovation and growth and perhaps makes your operations more efficient and more effective. So I will be sharing this slide set after this meeting, and this particular slide has lots of links to resources that Rotary has developed to help support your use of Rotary's action plan. So everything from flyers to one-page papers that really take a nice look at what each of the priorities is all about, how to communicate the Rotary action plan, and what individual clubs can do to incorporate Rotary's action plan. So you're going to continue to hear more and more about Rotary's action plan. In fact, each of the directors, each of the members of the board of directors is implementing regional efforts within his or her zones to implement regionally appropriate interpretations of the action plan. In the 2 zones I represent, we have membership webinars each month that are mostly presentations by club leaders about things they've done that have been successful. We do the same thing for public image. We do the same thing for Rotary Foundation. Depending on where you are in the world, you may see a different interpretation of the action plan. But we recognize that the action plan will be implemented in different ways in different parts of the world. And we think that's great. But the action plan itself, I think, gives a nice lens for clubs to consider how they develop their own plans moving forward. So I'm going to stop my presentation at that point. You've heard from me enough, and I would be happy to entertain any comments or any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Patrick, for that wonderful presentation. And now the floor is open for questions. You can raise your hands and I will unmute you so you can ask your question. In the meantime, Dr. Sam, you had put a question on the chat. You can start with yourself.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Patrick. You're always engaging and enlightening. And every time we're together, we learn something new. So thank you very much. But we've been very active the last 3 years in recruiting new members. I believe last year we had a net 23. Our district is actively recruiting. So what do we need to do? What 3 ideas that come out of the action plan we're talking about here that is very useful to engage, but also to continue the renewal of membership, because it's much easier to renew than to go out and recruit new ones. And we want to keep growing our club and our district and Rotary International itself. So what 3 main powerful ideas have you used that could be helpful to everyone here and those that we're going to share this recording with?
Sure. Thank you for that question. I hope you saw the hearts on my screen, because when I hear a club with that kind of growth, I know that inherently you're increasing your impact. You're doing so many things well. So 3 ideas or actions to be sure we get our new members engaged. Okay, so first off, I would say a powerful and a robust orientation. I would hope this might even occur before a person formally joins the club, but even if it's after, an orientation that talks about the history of Rotary, that talks about the history and the impact of your club, that talks about what is expected of a member and what a member can expect from the club in terms of value. I think a fully informed new member is one who will have appropriate expectations for the club experience. And so I think it's a very good way to start. Number two, I always encourage clubs, there's a new member sponsor, but I encourage clubs to assign at least 2 mentors for a new member who are not the sponsor. And the idea behind that is you have a sponsor who's invested in the new member, but then you have 2 mentors who are also invested in the success of that new member. I will tell you that when I have served as a mentor for a new member, I always start with a lunch or a coffee, some opportunity to get together for an hour or more to be sure I fully understand that person, what he or she wants, how I can do whatever I can to be sure that expectation is met. I will frequently take them to another area club so they'll see how another club does Rotary. I'll take them to a district event so that they understand that Rotary is so much bigger than just our club. Now, the third thing, Sam, and this is one that I've seen used very effectively, I encourage clubs each year to form a committee of all of the new members from the past year. And I invite them to choose a project, design a project, promote it, implement it, lead it, really take it start to finish. Because 2 things happen. First, all of those members who came in during the year, they become a cohort because they work together. Secondly, usually they bring something new to the club. They reach a part of the community that probably hasn't been touched by the club before. And third, the longer tenured members, they see these new members and they realize, wow, they bring real value to our club. They just brought us a new project and implemented it. And so I think all 3 of those things help the Rotary DNA that we all feel. It helps activate within those new members so that they know they're part of something big. They know they're contributing, and the existing members see how much value they bring. So I hope that 1 or more of those 3 might be helpful to you.
Yeah, I guess the summary of those 3 is engage them almost immediately and keep them engaged and expand that engagement, correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay.
And you all may know the statistic, but 50% of people who join Rotary leave the organization in the first 3 years. If we can keep them for 3 years, we generally can keep them for a very long time. So
Right.
your question is spot on, Sam. It's absolutely relevant to the engagement priority within the action plan and the importance of membership. So yes, getting them engaged early, keeping them engaged, and I think for mentors who maybe have been in the club 10 years, it may also renew for them what the Rotary experience is all about with that chance to invest in a newer member.
Yeah, we're seeing that, and probably at least 5 of our members have been there 20 or more years, and we're actually engaging them with the new ones, and they've renewed their commitment as well. So it goes both ways.
I've been in Rotary for 26 years, coming up on 27 years, and I love, even with all the duties I have serving on the board of directors, I love getting invested with our newer members.
Fantastic. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for being here.
Sure. Oh, I see my friend Himanshu.
Yeah. So Himanshu,
hello, my friend.
Yeah, Himanshu, you can ask your question.
Hello, Patrick. Well, it's more to say hello. Some of you don't realize Patrick and I served together. I think Patrick left after 1 year, the Global Networking Committee. I've got 2 sort of questions, but firstly, may I say how wonderful it is to listen to your refreshing thought. And I especially like the Rotary's vision statement. And I can share with you what we do in our club, as well as the 408 test, as well as the object of Rotary. We recite the vision statement. I think, you might think about that. My questions are 2. One is a sort of taking a dig at this vision statement, if you like. I think lasting change is an oxymoron. You say Rotary is changing. And so How do we measure this lasting change? I don't try to be too scientific, just a practical suggestion, because I think often we don't measure much, and I'm not quite sure what happens there. So that really is my question, and I just feel the what you said about introducing new members, getting them engaged, is absolutely fine. But what if the members don't want to be mentored? I'm an old fool. I've been in Rotary for 43 years now. So sometimes they don't. So how can we improve interchange between new and older generation is my second question. Thank you.
So Himanshu, it is wonderful to be with you. I actually did make it 2 years on the committee, but Himanshu and I served on a committee that oversaw and promoted Rotary fellowships, action groups, and vocational service. And it was always a joy to be with you. To your first question about lasting change, I mean, I think it's a fair point. Change is always occurring. So it may not last in its initial form. The change may continue to evolve, of course. I think what's intended with that statement of lasting change is that change that sticks, meaning not something that we change temporarily and then it reverts back. And that probably speaks to the sustainability that we want to see with projects and with impact we have on lives. But it's a fair point as a linguistics note that you make there about lasting change. Your second question, I think, was about perhaps members who don't want to be mentored, and that's a fair point. One of the reasons when I will have that initial lunch or coffee with a new member is to gauge that. Hey, maybe this person was in another Rotary Club and already understands the big picture of Rotary, or maybe this person has served in a number of different ways. I find that sometimes I actually gain mentorship from this newer member who has new perspectives, new ideas, causes me to look at something in a new way, where I change or I evolve in my thinking. So I do think that occurs on a case-by-case basis, and I think a wise mentor is one who comes in without a set program, but one who comes in with experience and the ability to adapt to whatever that new member may or may not need from a mentor.
Thank you, Patrick. I just want to share with you, sorry that you must have other questions, that we started introducing know your new member. So the member spends 10 minutes telling us who he or she is and what they expect. And I think that might be another way of making them feel at home. Thank you.
It's part, so in my club, it's part of our new member program. We have a checklist of things, and that is one of them, that the new member will give a 5 to 10 minute overview of family life and where the person grew up and professional aspects and what he or she would like to get out of Rotary. I think it really does open a window into who that person is and invites a relationship with other members. So I think it's a great practice that your club has, Himanshu.
Thank you.
It's another form of engagement. I mean, when we feel connected,
Even more important
when we
was the
feel
list of resources.
Oops.
When we feel connected to our clubs, when we feel connected to the other members, we don't think when our meeting rolls around, oh, I've got to go to Rotary. We think, wow, I get to go to Rotary today. When there's that engagement, when there's that connection. My VJ mentioned my two children who are 21 and 18. That if I wanted to leave Rotary, they would not allow it. That's how connected they are to Rotary. They absolutely would overrule their dad because of their connection to Rotary. So when we have that kind of connection and engagement, the value of membership is so much higher for us.
Thank you.
Anybody else has a question? You can just raise your hand. I'll unmute you. Yes, please ask your question.
Yeah, I don't have a question, but I have just joined last week only, and I'm just getting the hang of it, all this Rotary thing. One thing in common is that my grandparents were the member of Rotary Club way back in 1970s. So now they both have passed away. So I'm the only person from the family who have joined the Rotary Club now. And last week only I have joined. And I've just become the member. And I'm just getting used to the whole concept and getting used to the whole environment and meeting all my members. So my panel gave a fabulous party day before yesterday for me, a dinner hosted by them, and they did my induction in Rotary Club day before yesterday night. So it is wonderful to be part of this club, and I'm still in the learning process. And thank you for giving me time to talk about it. Thank you.
Well, first off, let me just say to you, on behalf of the board of directors, welcome to Rotary. We are so glad that you're part of this organization. Whether it's 2 days or it's 26 years, we're all still learning about Rotary.
Yeah.
So we're so glad you've joined this Rotary family, and I hope that you will have a wonderful experience. You've made new friends on this call already, and we're very excited that you have come on board.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else who would like to ask a question, you can please raise your hand. I'll unmute you. Yes, President Mohanji, please.
Yes, yes, sir. I am glad to join in Rotary Club in our Modasa 3055 Gujarat. We are good credit given by the department as a like NGO. Collector also take care about our NGO. They can take care about the each and every social work. We are going to work in education and health very well. I proud of to join in Rotary Club, Rotary International Club. Thank you very much. I have no problem. I am very proud of joining the Rotary. Very nice. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, thank you, and thank you for pursuing areas of passion like education, for instance. I think that's wonderful, and I think one of the genius parts of our design is that clubs and Rotarians have the opportunity to pursue areas that are most important to them, that they feel passion for, so that we have essentially a menu of areas that we can make a difference in. So thank you for your service. Thank you for your leadership. And I'm so glad you're also a part of our family of Rotary.
Yeah. Anybody else, kindly raise your hand. So otherwise we can move ahead. Yeah, Dr. Samuel, you can please ask. I think, let me see why you are not able. Yes, Dr. Sam.
There we go. Okay. Anyway, I have received about 5 requests for the recording and the photographs today. I assume you'll be sending that out to us later on.
The photographs will be released immediately after the meeting, and the YouTube link is always there. It is shared in the mail, and I will
sharing
the YouTube link.
I'll send it out to those I invited because people just couldn't get here today, but they're asking about Patrick and what he had to say. So we want to be sure we distribute it as far and wide as possible. Thank you, VJ, for all the technical support you give us.
And let me just mention, because of the videos, the file is quite large. So what I'm going to do is to place it in my Dropbox, and I'll provide a link and I'll have it open so that anybody can access it. They can download it. But as opposed to sending it, it's way too large to send as an attachment. But I'll make it freely shareable and downloadable.
Kirti, you can ask your question.
Yeah. Hi, Patrick. I'm Kirti from Rotary Club of Organ Donation. It's a cause-based club from 3234. So I'm very glad Vijay sir gave us an opportunity to be a co-host for the evening. So my question to you here is that the materials which you're going to share with the PPT, which is going to be released, that doesn't have individual links there, what I saw in your PPT. So like for membership or for any other thing. So if I can have that so that we can use it in the club for better work.
The links that you want to see are
Yes, there was a slide for membership or other things, how to conduct a better, performances from the club. But there are no links below that. I shall share with Vijay sir and get it clarified, and then he can pass on to you.
Okay, and I will Vijay, when you send out information, please share my email address.
Oh yeah,
And if
we have shared that.
Okay.
So it would be nice.
I'll be happy to answer any questions or to try to bring additional resources as you need them.
Yes, we need a lot of resource materials so that we can have a lot of activities done here.
Sure. We frequently say on the board that while we may represent part of the world, we serve the entire world. So I'll be very, very happy to bring additional resources to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Anilji, you can ask your question.
Vijayji, can I say how I enjoyed Rotary recently? If with your permission, if you permit me.
You have 1 minute.
Okay. Rotarians, recently I was in Turkey and Rotarian Arzu is here, and I had a pleasure of meeting Rotarians from 8 Rotary Clubs, visiting 4 Rotary Clubs, and I was representing Rotary Club of Kashipur Cowboy 3110, and as an honorary member, I was representing Rotary E Club of Winter Heaven 6890, Florida. And I also exchanged flags of both the clubs and met presidents, secretaries, and district governor. And I really enjoyed Rotary. And this was the magic of Rotary, that I could visit Rotary clubs in an unknown country. Thank you.
Thank you, Anilji.
It's a wonderful thing to be able to connect with Rotarians all around the world. I always enjoy attending meetings or events of Rotary or Rotaract clubs somewhere far from home. I think it's a special joy.
I would just like to add that my family has 3 generations of Rotarians. I am a 2nd generation Rotarian and my son is a 3rd generation Rotarian. And I have practically attended meetings from the north of India, from Jammu to Kanyakumari, from Baroda to Siliguri in the east. And across the globe, I must have, after COVID, thanks to COVID, I must have attended more than 4,000 Zoom meetings. And that's how I have got friends across the globe now.
Wow. Bravo. Bravo. Very well.
Yeah, and and today I am an honorary member in 8 international clubs.
I didn't think anybody had more Zoom meetings than I did, but BJ, you have.
I am most probably getting 1 more club in the next. So this is how we enjoy Rotary. And I have also been working actively on the ICC front with our national coordinator of India ICC on various ICCs. India has signed around 102 ICCs out of the 204 countries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another form of engagement.
Yes.
Right? Between
As I told you, I am heading the India side for India USA and India Germany, both important ICCs which we revived.
Vijay, you don't have one with India UK ICC.
Yes, we have ICC with India UK also.
Oh, well, I'll write to you.
I can share the details. Yeah, Pradeep ji, you wanted to speak?
Yeah, so I will welcome you as the honorary Rotarian of Rotary Bengaluru Agora. Today itself, it will be announced. It is so. Welcome to Rotary Bengaluru Agora as an honorary Rotarian.
Thank you. Sayyeda ji, you want to say something?
Yes, please. Thank you, Vijay ji. Welcome our esteemed guest, Patrick. I'm president from Rotary E Club of Winter Haven, Florida, USA 6890. So you're also our director of our zone as well. So you're all warm welcome. And I have one announcement. I'm pleased to announce that our club has decided to confer honorary membership on Vijay in recognition of his outstanding contribution to our community. And Vijay's selfless dedication and commitment to service align perfectly with the values of Rotary. So we welcome and we are honored to have him as a part of our Rotary family and look forward to his support and contribution.
Thank you. Patrick, that's number 10 over here.
That's wonderful.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think now we can move ahead and Joshi sir, are you ready with the certificate of, you can just read out the certificate?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it is visible. You can read it out.
No, I'll read from my screen, no problem.
Yeah.
Patrick, good evening and good evening to all the members of this particular Zoom meeting. I'm Chandrasekhar Joshi, Rotary Club of Thane Suburban President. On behalf of 14 clubs, Rotary Club as well as Rotaract Club, we would like to give certificate of appreciation. The following award is given to RID Patrick Eakes for enlightening us on the topic of Rotary's action plan on Friday, October 4th, 2024, signed by following club member presidents: Sunil Sali of President Rotary Club of Thane Titans, Yatish Kuril, President of Rotary Club of Thane East, Sayyadna Simran Hassan, President of Rotary E Club Winter Haven, Vijay Das, President of Rotary Club of Bhubhaneswar Flamingos, Chandrasekhar Joshi, President of Rotary Club of Thane Suburban, Vikas Toshniwal, President of Rotary Club of Thane Ghodbunder, Mohan Patel, President of Rotary Club of Modasa, Jaipal Reddy, President of Rotary Club of Bengaluru Agora, Sudhakar Shanmukh Sundaram, President of Rotary Club of Organ Donation, Yogesh Putane, President of Rotaract Club of Thane Titans, Rakesh Garg, President of Rotary Club of Siliguri Metropolitan, Manish Patil, President of Rotary Club of Thane, Murli Sundarani, President of Rotary Club of Thane Skyline, and Kamlakant Ankush, President of Rotary Club of Ulhasnagar. So these 14 club presidents have signed this particular certificate of appreciation. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Patrick, this will be mailed to you immediately after the meeting. And this is token of appreciation from our side. Now coming for the vote of thanks, I would like to request Jaipal Reddy ji to kindly unmute and give the vote of thanks. Yeah. Yes, Jaipal, you are.
Yeah. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. Myself, Rotarian Jaipal Reddy, President, Rotary Bengaluru Agora, Rotary International District 3191. Thanks to Rotarian Patrick Eakes, R1, RI Director, Zone 33 and 34, 24 to 26, Speaker for giving his insight on Rotary Action Plan. Thanks to the esteemed Rotarians International and guests for joining and participating in the online meeting, Rotary Action Plan. Special thanks to the host, Rotary Club of Thane Titans, and for giving opportunity to co-host today's online meeting with the Thane East E Club of Winter Haven, Rotaract Thane Titans, Thane Ghodbunder Road, Modasa, Bengaluru Agora, Club of Organ Donation, Bhubhaneswar Flamingo, Thane Suburban. Special thanks to President Rotarians, Rotaractors, and esteemed guests for joining and participating in today's online meeting. Finally, I would like to thank Rotarian Vijay Kevaramani, Rotary Club of Thane Titans, for giving me the opportunity to present the vote of thanks. Thanks for all for making this event a memorable one. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for joining. Our attendance was over 65. And if any club has any secretarial announcements, you have 2 minutes to please make it. Any club, any host club who's sitting over here, they want to make any announcement, they are free to make their announcements? If not, then I would request Simran to kindly adjourn the meeting.
Thank you very much, everyone, and thank you very much, Patrick. It was very insightful meeting, and thank you for joining us, all of you. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you. And